I want to talk about why is this HLG HDR such a big deal to me, and really for everybody. This is incredible. Let me show you what I'm talking about first. For people that this is the first video you see, you come here to settings, you're going to step on select mode, and you're going to hit 111.3.111. You're gonna open this secret menu, and you're gonna change this EOTF from auto. You're gonna change that from auto to HLG. That's what I'm talking about here. This is going to work over every single SDR content. It doesn't matter if it's a movie, a video game, anything. And it's gonna work flawlessly. Amazing. Why is this such a big deal? Because we don't have a lot of very good HDR game implementation. Like, there's not a lot of very good HDR games. And we have a lot of SDR games. And you can say, oh well, but you can use auto HDR from Windows or auto HDR from my console, or that's not a big deal. There's a lot of ways to get a conversion from SDR to HDR. But here's the thing. When you try this, you tell me if you know about a better conversion, because I have 5,000 gigabytes of video games, okay? I have all of them. And I've been trying them one by one. And so far, I am struggling to find a single example of a very good HDR game implementation that I can, I don't know which one is better. I'm gonna go with the HDR from the game. It's almost impossible. And you see a lot of games like, for example, Metro Exodus, amazing graphics, love it. HDR settings, on or off. Do you think that can give you a good HDR experience? Of course not, because every TV has different capabilities. If you get a G1 that has higher peak brightness, it's different. So the TV has to do tone mapping and all of that. So when I see a game that has an on-off HDR toggle, what that tells me, and that's probably, most likely, that's a crappy HDR implementation. So with this setting, with HLG HDR, every single content is going to be adjusted specifically and beautifully to your TV. So if your TV is capable of giving you 700 or 800 nits, that's what it's going to do. And it works beautifully. I have an app on my cell phone. That's not an accurate measurement, but it is a point of reference. And I've been comparing video game HDR versus this HLG HDR over the SDR, and it works better. The only game so far I've seen is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice and Elden Ring. The HDR from the game, it does give me a little bit higher peak brightness on the sun, on the highlights, a little bit. So I'm going with the game HDR, absolutely. And I'm sure there has to be many games with, well, not many games, there has to be some games with a good HDR implementation. So if you find that, by all means, use that. That's gonna be better. And we can also hope that the developers are putting the work to do HDR accurately. So they are, just their intent as a developer, they are basically saying, hey, this is supposed to be 200 nits, it's supposed to be 300 nits. So when we talk about HDR accuracy, we are talking about the developer's intent, okay? So if that's the case, by all means, if there's a new game coming out with real Dolby Vision, that's gonna be a much better option, no question about that. But the reason why this is such a big deal is because we don't have a lot of great HDR content. We don't. And many times this HDR content that has been mastered on a crazy range, like 10,000 nits, like Microsoft Flight Simulator, something like that, you try to set up that game and the colors for some reason are diluted. Like for example, you try Red Dead Redemption 2 on HDR and you will see very clear that the colors are diluted. So then you try this over SDR and the colors are not diluted. And the range, that HDR range, is perfect. Why do I say that it is perfect with all the confidence? Because there's no black crush. You can see all the shadow detail. And when I measure the peak brightness of the sun and of the light objects, I am getting 5, 6, 7, and over 800 nits. And that's an inaccurate measurement. I'm just using my cell phone app, but it doesn't matter. It is very, very good. That's my point. And I can see it with my eyes. It looks fantastic. So let's take a look at this video, for example. Just, wildlife. This is an SDR video. Let's go back to the SDR accurate settings, okay? So I am not claiming, okay, that my settings are more accurate. Not at all. I am going for accuracy. I am going with HD TV Test advice. He knows what he's talking about. He is a professional. I love his videos. I watch all his content, okay? But let's go to his settings. So we come here to settings, and I'm gonna show you that I have good settings for SDR. 111, 3, 111. I'm gonna change this back to SDR. So, of course, the brightness it goes down. I'm not saying that's something that is bad, okay? We as humans, we see something that's brighter and we're going to think that's better. It's just the way it is. It's like music. You're listening to something and you listen to something else that's louder, you're going to perceive that as an improvement. I'm clear about that. But let's take a look at the colors. So the accurate settings, based on everybody that knows what they're talking about, is basically the colors with auto and color depth 55. And about the brightness, this is something that sounds about right. Of course, you can calibrate the TV, it's gonna be better. But just out of the box settings, contrast on 85, OLED pixel brightness 75, BT 1886 for a dark room, or Gamma 2.2 for a bright room. That makes sense. Everyone is going to give you that advice. I think that advice is sound, okay? But now, you try this and tell me which one you like more. So let's take a look at that. This looks good. It looks very good. This is an 8K video at 60 frames. It looks very good. But let's try my settings now. Let's try HLG HDR. So we come here and we're gonna see the difference. Let's take for example, this shot. You tell me, brother, what do you like more? When you go to when you go to the store to buy these TVs, they have all the TVs on vivid mode, which is disgusting. It's terrible. And they have all the brightness and contrast maxed out. Why is that? Because we like it. Most people, I don't like it. It looks disgusting to me. But it is more attractive, to have a more colorful image. It is more attractive to us. So really, accuracy and the creator's intent, that's very good. And I would love to have a very accurate image in Dolby Vision, 4K, 8K. That would be fantastic. And I'm sure I would be happy with that, okay? But when we're playing a video game, it doesn't really matter a lot. And the settings that I like in terms of color is, of course, 150. Everybody is going to give you that advice, and it is sound. It looks a lot better to our eyes, that 150. So you come here, this is very important on the brightness. For everything, we want to have, on the colors, we want to have that white balance in 150. But what I like in terms of color is this color gamut on native. Why I like that? Because it looks like my plasma. That's it. I love my plasma TV, love it. This is giving me the color saturation. So I basically did a match. I matched them with using my perception, not tools. So it's just what I like, and it's what I'm gonna use on every single game. And you try it and let me know if you like that. So I use then the saturation on 50. Okay, so the color depth on 50 and color gamut on native. That's what I like. That's what I'm gonna use, and that's what I would recommend you. Try that. So that's it. That's my whole point. This is such a big deal, HLG HDR, because it's going to allow you to enjoy your HDR TV for everything. Like I'm not gonna tell you what you should do. You can enjoy your SDR if you like it, brother. Go ahead. I am not watching SDR on this TV. Never again. There's no reason for it. On my my taste, no reason whatsoever. And you see that it works on regular content. It is going to work on an Xbox, PS5, Blu-ray, whatever you connect with an HDMI cable to your TV. Basically, this secret menu is an HDMI signal override. So it is gonna work. So try it out and let me know. What do you think? Try a very good HDR game. So if you think of Forza Horizon 5, that's an amazing HDR game. That's one I'm yet to try. I will download it and try that and see how good that is. I have my drive full of games, so I have to do some space. But try that out. Try very, very good HDR games and compare them. And I would say, if you cannot tell the difference between the HDR 10 from the game and this, I would go with the HDR from the game, 100%. But you let me know. You let me know which one looks better to you, and I will try it. I will download the game and I will try it and do a video about it. So that's it.